how MLP changed my life. In the musicians chat, we would, send very rough drafts of what we were working on, and we would give each other critique and, give each other tips. Everyone was kind of pushing each other to be their best. I don't think I've been in any other community that's kind of so tightly knit and capable of driving you so much. It's also shown me what a vibrant, positive community can do. It's given me family, and it's just shown me how much positivity can come out.
The cool thing about the Brony community is that there's so much creativity. It really sets it apart from other fandoms. Really has helped me develop my skills as a musician. In the Brony community, I was able to really get those skills honed quite rapidly because I was in a community on Skype for Brony musicians, and they really helped me out. Started making really good songs in less than a year. I still talk with my musician friends. The Brony community is very supportive and wanting to help with creative endeavors. I've met a lot of people in the fandom, and they're genuine people. Really nice to be a part of this community.
I have so many new friends that I did not have before, and I'm going to different cons and I'm seeing people. My transition has been happening since last June, and so many people have been like, holy shit, I didn't know this about myself until you came out. There's so many people who are thankful to me as someone who is able to be on silly videos like this. Yeah, it's really meaningful that people look up to me in any kind of way. I know it's sad because this is the end, but cheers to new beginnings.
My name's Jack T. Herbert. I used to be a reactor to various pony videos on YouTube between around 2011 to 2014. Because I started relatively early during season 1. And I met a group of friends. We traveled from the UK to the US. We effectively formed a music group together. We made a bunch of stuff, and we are still friends to this day. And the thing that brought us together in the first place was MLP, and as such, I feel like that is something I can always be thankful for MLP for bringing us together and creating an everlasting friendship.
Actually, quite a terrible person. Before MLP came along, I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done, and things I regret immensely. Now I'm a much better person for it. Still not perfect, no one is, but yeah, it gave me new insight into what being a good person is and why I should want to. I've been to places I would never have dreamed of going. I've done things I would have never dreamed I'd be doing. Met people I had no idea I'd ever meet, and made new friends along the way. It's truly something cliche in saying that it's something magical. It really is. Nothing I've ever experienced in my life has been anything like it. So yeah, I can never be thankful enough to the show itself, the fandom, the people who make the show. It's been something special, and I hope G5 lives up to that.
MLP for me has changed my life in a way that I can't even begin to describe because, as a lonely 19-year-old sitting in his room in 2011 and trying to rebuild my life, finding something as simple as that and as nurturing a community as I found in MLP was something that changed my life for the better in almost every conceivable way. I had never experienced popularity before, and it helped to not only give me a taste of it, but it also helped to really humble me and teach me the kind of person that I wanted to be because I started out as a piece of shit. MLP and the fandom and the people that I have met through it have helped to ultimately shape the person that I am now. And I really can't even begin to think what my life would be like if I hadn't found it. Even though I don't participate as heavily as I do, it still is a part of my life. To have the opportunity to leave an impact on something like this is incredible, and MLP gave me that opportunity.
To go to so many new cities and attend so many events I never would have gone to, learn so many new skills I never thought I could learn. I interviewed people I never thought I could meet. I made friends from parts of the world I never thought I would go to. For me, what was important was the people that I met and the people who I'm still great friends with today.
My name is Silent. I'm an audio engineer and an orchestral music producer. It's been about 7 years since I was on Bronies React. First discovered the show when I was in college. I had just gotten started and really wasn't liking what I was doing. Discovered all of this other music that was being created by the fandom. The amount of talent that came from this music community is just incredible. And you've got some guys that have gone on to make music careers of their own that got their start here. I decided I wanted to do that because I love soundtrack music. So I decided to pick up on it myself, and I don't know if I ever really would have. I still talk to a lot of those guys to this very day, and they're great people, and I'm thankful for them being in my life. My years in this community have been some of my best years. If it weren't for this show, I may never have become as ingrained in audio work as I am now.
MLP has changed my life in a lot of ways. It allowed me to find my passion in music and rapping and writing. Before I became a Brony, I didn't really have friends. When my popularity just exploded overnight with my music and being featured on EQD, I suddenly found people who wanted to get to know me, who wanted to work with me, who wanted to be my friend. One of the biggest blessings in my life. I've met a lot of people over the years that have just changed me for the better as a person, and it was thanks to this show.
The show's been a pretty core part of my life for the past 8 years. I mean, you can see all the stuff up behind me. I'm OG Season 1. For those of you who don't know, I am the person who was one of the editors and coordinators for Pony's The Anthology series. I got to that point through 8 years of continuously learning how to do editing work. Seeing other people do videos with this show was what got me to start. 2011 would be mind blown of like how much skill and how many advances in skill I had made. It's allowed me to explore my more artistic side. It allowed me to learn how to be comfortable with myself in front of, I guess, a crowd, doing stuff in front of conventions and panels. It helped me make a lot of new lifelong friends. I lived with people who I met through this fandom. I have my current job tangentially because of an acquaintance I have. I probably am with my current partner because of people who I knew in this fandom. It's been a great 8 years, and I would not trade any of it for the world.
I'm Ian, or Artie Spartan.
And I'm Thomas, aka Twilight Spartan.
Don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah,
We take our helmets off for the first time and you cry. Oh, fuck, dude. My journey began 2011. I was up in Kodiak, Alaska with the military. My first winter away from family. And if you know anything about living that far up north, you get about 2 hours of daylight. It was rough. I was tired, I was depressed all the time. I was away from family and the holidays were coming around. So a friend introduced me to the show. It was like a nightlight. I could have lived without it, but it was definitely helpful. Through that, I met a lot of friends that were on the internet with the military. I went to my first con in TrotCon, and I went there as security, and that's where I met this guy. As a person, I kind of realized, okay, you know, not everyone's as well adjusted to me, to social interactions as I am. And I got to meet people that were different from me, and I mean, as cheesy as that sounds, I got to appreciate people that weren't me. I met some great friends that I'll have for life. I met my girlfriend. Has my life changed at all? Absolutely. I'm a better person and I'm better off in life because of the show.
I can't draw, I suck at music. I can build armor okay, so this is the only way I'm gonna do it. And he was just running security, and it's just me doing my usual, I'm a goof in armor. We just started to keep playing off each other, and it was a real good time. Has My Little Pony changed my life? Absolutely. It's definitely enticed me to try new things.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've become a more social person. I've definitely become a better armor builder. I wouldn't have dreamed of building something like this.
Thank you very much. This has been Fireteam Harmony, and you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, it's me, Diana Karina, and I just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations, MLP, on a fantastic run. The opportunity to work with and meet so many amazing people, from the actors to the directors, producers, story writers, animators, everyone who's been involved, not the least of which is the fan base, the Bronies, and the amazing people who have been such a fantastic support for MLP and who have loved it through all of the years that it's been here. And hopefully it will continue to live on forever with all of you. Thank you for all of your support, and congratulations on an amazing run.
Hey everyone, Devin Dalton here, aka Oh Celis. My Little Pony has absolutely changed my life for the better. Voicing his character has been a highlight for me personally and in my career. And I feel super, super honored and extremely proud to be a part of the My Little Pony family. And I think it's safe to say it's so much more than a show. Beautiful, beautiful message involved. And I know that it is certainly not the end. The adventures and the love and the sharing and the generosity and the friendship will live on in myself and my fellow cast and crewmates, and absolutely through each and every one of you. Thank you. Cheers to My Little Pony. Cheers to Elsalis. Cheers to my friends. Friendship really is magic.
Just kind of reinforced my faith in the fact that there's a lot of good people in the world. Just the amount of care and kindness and just sort of respect shown to me personally. It's been really, really a privilege to be able to say thank you in person to the people who watch the work that we do, that I personally do. Without an audience, I can't be an actor. And so it's been really gratifying for me to be able to say, thank you for watching. Thank you for allowing me to do the things that bring me so much joy. I feel like I've gotten so much more than I could ever express. It brought the Vancouver voice acting community closer together. It gave us an opportunity to socialize with each other in a different way than we had before. And that is a really, really cool thing that I don't think anybody could have expected from doing this show. That's how it's changed my life. I suppose those are pretty good things.
I was asked, how did My Little Pony change your life? And the answer is, I got this shirt. The people. Meeting directors, other actors, artists, people from the crew to conventions, everyone in between. Thank you to the fans who have been around since whenever you started watching, but you're the reason that we were on for so long and got to do so many amazing fun things. It's sad that it's come to an end, but it's not really over when there's such a great community like you guys out there. We'll always be around and we'll always be grateful. I'm very grateful for all of the amazing artist things I have that's been given to me. I guess it's you guys. You guys have changed my life. Thank you.
Yuck, thankful for everyone from My Little Pony. Bye!
It helped me really galvanize my sense of ambition. I literally found my voice. I was able to take that with me and start kind of trying to build sort of a career around it. Made a lot of really great friends over the years. I've learned a lot of things about myself. MLP, as a community, as a fandom, really drove me to be better. I've become a better friend. I've gotten a lot better about drawing boundaries and distancing myself from people I shouldn't be near, and focusing my energy on things and people I should be near. This community taught me how to appreciate people and be humble. I owe that to all of you guys. Thanks everyone. It's been a spectacular ride from start to finish. I'm glad we got to be here together. It was a treat.
Without this show, I wouldn't be in the place that I am now at all. Like, I wouldn't know pretty much all the friends that I talk to on a daily basis. And I wouldn't be, like, traveling the country to go to the different conventions. I probably wouldn't have continued doing YouTube stuff. It definitely defined part of my life throughout the 2010s, and continues to do so, because I'm going to be going to conventions still. It's hard to imagine my life without this show, because I wouldn't know pretty much everyone that I know today. I really love the show, and I continue to love the show, even after its ending. It's definitely changed my life for the better, I think.
When the MLP came out, I was going through a very sad and sudden breakup. My nan was very ill at the time. She's in heaven now, but at the time she was very ill. So I was in a very, very sad place. One of my friends was like, hey, you should watch this show. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. And I was like, what? A really nice and positive refreshment from the sad things happening at the time. It was like right up my alley. I met some lovely people I call my friends now. My character range with voice acting has progressed. It was just great being exposed to that and seeing what all these wonderful voice actresses did with these characters. Due to MLP, I've got to collaborate with like such talented people. All the places I've been to, I've met all sorts of people, and they've all been so lovely, making these new wonderful friends through this My Little Pony craze.
There was a particular episode of MLP that helped me mend my relationship with my little brother. I was able to develop myself and better myself as a person. There was something special about MLP. I got to go to conventions and meet a lot of people. To have the person come up to you in person and tell you that you helped me, you saved me, that means so much to me. It's also helped me meet a lot of good friends, lifelong friends. If it weren't for ponies, I probably wouldn't have gotten as far into Dungeons and Dragons as I did. I probably never would have moved to Texas. I probably would not have met my fiance if it wasn't for MLP. I do owe a lot to this show.
Hello! I'm David Dwayne Hammonds, and during the heyday of the Brony fandom, I played a character called Joe Stevens, a yellow journalist investigating all the heinous things going on in the world of My Little Pony. Called it the Equestrian Inquirer, and Tech Rat and LTT Moose and other people that get involved. And so I got invited to BronyCon, and here I am, a fake journalist, doing real journalism, interviewing real people, breaking stories. I was there when the fire broke out at BronyCon, and I had to do some discipline to make sure that I could put together a weekly program that was always funny. And I got an agent, and I got to pitch at Nickelodeon. I did all these great things, and it was because of Bronies and the show My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, that I had all these opportunities. Because of the encouragement and the joy I felt doing this, I said, this is what I have to dedicate my life to. I don't think I would have had the courage to take the path I did. I can honestly say my life is different and changed for the better because of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
Self-worth, self-love, self-discipline, all wrapping in a bag of a present called self-acceptance. MLP has helped me acknowledge these traits. It's meaningful to me, and if not to everybody, this is meaningful to me. But there is no lack of better term. MLP has shown me that my story, the story's not over. I thought my story was over years ago. But I mean, yeah, you write your story. Even if it means stepping out of your box. Step out of the box, X out the options at hand, egg me on over easy, we'll see how it pans. As long as you choose to pick up a pen, you write your own story, so see how it ends. Meeting new people, all in the span of just watching all common interests of watching a great show. No other way to say it at this point except thank you.
The show has been a constant motivator for me. Every now and then there's an episode that just hits home. And it makes me feel like I need to do better or be better. Cosplaying Snowflake has kept me in the gym a lot more than I normally would be. With the Bronies, with pony conventions, I got there and I just dove in. Because I knew that everyone here had that one thing in common. My Little Pony. And from there, we would branch out to other things. It made me feel at home. And that was not a feeling that I had ever had before, and I don't know if I'll ever have again.
It changed everything. It was the first community I ever really participated in online. It allowed me to be much more creative and increased my confidence. I was drowning in cynicism, was subconsciously looking for something positive, upbeat, genuine, and affirming. Literally everybody in my social circle now, everybody that I associate with, I met all of you through the show. Changed my value system for the better, gave me more of an optimistic outlook towards a lot of things where before it was a lot of more blunt cynicism, and reshaped my social circles to being around people who helped me see that there was value in who I was and what I was doing in a way that I didn't have by myself. Thank you, Lauren Faust. Dress horse is still best horse, 7 years strong. don't forget.
Because of that fandom, I was able to start
Tommy
experimenting
knows.
with all sorts of stuff that I didn't know anything about. You can pick up a new craft without fear of judgment. Expanded my collection of silly instruments and accessories. I still got my kazoos. It was fantastic. I was able to go up on stage in front of a packed auditorium, play some stupid instruments, get everyone hyped. I felt like I was a rock star for a few years. It was great. It's had this lasting impact on who I am as a person. I wouldn't have given up my heyday in the fandom for anything. Thanks to the show, I was able to really just embrace being this goofball. It helped me rediscover sincerity, empathy, tolerance. The real My Little Pony was the friends we made along the way.
I took an interest in the show, and then I was impressed by the creativity of the fandom, so I tried my hand at making comics. One of my comics got featured on Equestria Daily, and it was just such an amazing feeling to connect with people on this creative level. I'm doing a lot. I've never been this involved in a fandom before, and I have never had this sustained rhythm of creativity. I don't regret my time in this community. I don't regret putting myself out there. Even the moments that hurt, the benefit and the knowledge that I've gotten to be a positive impact in people's lives through my creative work, that means a lot to me. I'll always be grateful for this experience, for this insight, for this fandom, and for this show that made it all possible.
How has MLP changed your life? Oh God, here comes the crying. I found Mag. I came into the fandom at like one of my lowest points, and MLP, a little show about talking ponies for little girls, pulled me out of my worst. Like, if I could talk to past me, I wouldn't believe it for a goddamn second.
Same.
Right. That's the reason why I love the show so much, was the fact that it encapsulated what everybody really wants, is just real friendship. I'm happy because the show brought me some of my dearest friends, and it brought me a lot more than I would have ever expected.
Yeah. My dearest friends are those who I found through this fandom as well, and we're so lucky. Like, a couple of them have even moved close to us, and obviously her. And I will have you know, I found her, not vice versa.
Oh, God damn it.
I never knew what I was capable of before Pony.
It's mind-boggling how that show has brought together so many people. It's up to us to keep the fandom and to keep the show and the spirit alive. It really is. Yeah. And that's why, like, when everyone's like, oh, it's all over, I'm like, no, it's not. As long as we keep, creating content and enjoying what G4 is and what this show has brought us. Basically, MLP is amazing, and I think we're forever grateful to the show for everything it's done.
We are.
I watched, the first episode, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna be watching the rest of this stupid show, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I started making gags for my YouTube channel about the My Little Pony show, and because the My Little Pony show had exploded, lots of people saw those videos. It was like a resurgence in my thought, like, hey, maybe I can go somewhere with this. None of that would have happened if it weren't for ponies. Me traveling to America 5 times never would have happened due to ponies. I got people coming up to me and being like, hey, those stupid videos you made, I really liked them and had a good time with them. This was a hobby for me for a long time. And now it really feels like I'm making a difference. It's super cool. If it wasn't for ponies, then I would not be anywhere near where I am right now. And I'm eternally grateful for that.
Started discovering, that there were all the people in the Brony community around it, and found out that in 2012 there was going to be a My Little Pony convention. A friend of my mom's, his son, and I used to be friends when we were little kids, and then we all went out and got lunch because we were both in town at the same time. We were both back from college. And they brought it up, just kind of as a side thing, I've been watching the show, and he was like, oh my god, you watched it too, let's go to BronyCon. I was like, alright, let's do it. And then that set it off.
Yeah.
And then, I went to every BronyCon since then, 2016. I showed up to BronyCon, was like, I want to meet that Saber Spark guy, and then I wore my giant bird wings.
She put on her mating
display, and I was like, pretty hot.
Yeah, I met my handsome boyfriend.
That's me. It was me, right?
Career-wise, like, this has helped me enormously. I am Sweetie Belle. Sweetie Belle is me. It's my character, and that's like a really cool thing to kind of have under your belt as someone who is in this industry. It's given me a lot of like life experiences for sure, and traveling and dealing with like school and traveling at the same time. And it's literally a half of my life. Like, it's a decade. I've been doing this for a decade, and it's crazy to think that it's suddenly like gonna be over. Hashtag blessed to be traveling and meeting people, having a fan base that's so dedicated and nice and generous that they can like still support me in like creating whatever I want to do now that has almost nothing to do with the show. Like, that's crazy.
So the question is, how has My Little Pony changed my life? And I mean, the honest answer is in quite a lot of ways, but the most notable is probably the restraining orders. I had to get a restraining order against AC Race Best, which just doesn't work. Like, no matter how many I try. I got one against Saber Spark back in season 2. Dusty Cat.
How has My Little Pony changed my life? I've made friends that will last forever. I've met so many talented, creative individuals that I have incredible respect for. And I bought way too many t-shirts.
A restraining order against Jack Blade as well. Viva Reverie, of course. Brony Dance Party. I mean, don't we all?
My Little Pony, above all else, has taught me to keep an open mind.
That's to be expected.
Not judge a book by its cover, all of that jazz. Now, I think the reason it stands out to me is because it was sort of the first lesson I learned in the very early development stages of the show, when we all had to decide, like, okay, are we gonna sort of ignore this and jump to conclusions based on what's on paper and what other people are telling us, or are we going to actually make an effort to connect with these people and try and understand what it is in the show that they're drawn to? Of course, I think all of us chose the latter, including myself, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. There's so many ways to apply open-mindedness in your everyday life, and it is something I will continue to do for the rest of my years. And yeah, My Little Pony, man, what a ride.
Paleo. I actually have 3 restraining orders against Paleo Steno. One's just for fun. The other 2 are kind of necessary. Let's see. No
Makes
whacking.
sense.
Needed one there for sure. Mike the Microphone. Also restraining order. Black Griffin. Who am I missing? Silver Quill.
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Don't you think my collection's sort of complete? I love you guys. I'm gonna miss the show. I'm gonna miss the people. I'm gonna miss
complexions
going to conventions and seeing people. I guess conventions still can exist, right? I
miss
also
you,
love
Flash.
that Flash Sentry is everyone's favorite human/pony, and that everyone ships Flashlight. That's something that I really appreciate from the fandom. Everywhere I went, every fan I met was just really into this, and it just brings me so much joy, and it really touches my heart. So thank you guys. I love you as much as you guys love these guys. Together. Forever. I just want to say thank you to everyone involved in this show.
Flash.
I feel so blessed to be a part of it. This show has allowed me to travel the world to see and meet amazing people and experience true humanity. It's something that you don't see every day. You guys have shown me how to love, how to be extremely selfless. You guys do so much for the world, and this show has done so much for so many people across this world. So I just feel very, very blessed to be a part of it.
The Lost Narrator. Magpie Pony also. I had to get a restraining order against Peter New. Who else? Hasbro. The entire country of Canada. That's why it has to
Peter
stay
New
up there. Can't come near me.
Hi, I'm Sunny Westbrook. I'm the voice of Cozy Glow. Being on Pony has absolutely changed my life for the better, and one of the ways it's done that is it's made me a better actor. Getting to work with that cast and with those women, watching them switch back and forth between characters, listening to them screw up their lines,
watching them drop in little bits of improv, it has encouraged me to take bigger chances, make bigger choices. It's absolutely made me a better performer for having the privilege of being on that show and working with those women. I have been viewing my relationships through the elements of harmony and what elements might be missing. So think about it, like if you have a friendship where there's a lot of laughter and a lot of honesty, but a little short on kindness, it gets a little weird. Just having the elements of harmony in my life toolkit has made me a much better person for having been on the show. It's been a real privilege to be a part of.
Anyone else? Living Tombstone, Eiley Monty, Private Stampede, GM Barrow. Pretty much annually I get a new one against GM Barrow.
Hey everyone, it's Jillian. Like many of you, I have made some really great friends from this show and from meeting all of you guys at fan conventions, and that to me has been the most awesome part. It's been a really amazing chance for me to have my creative voice be heard and to get to write books and episodes and contribute to, you know, just this idea that kindness matters and loyalty and all of these things, all of these elements make up to be magic, and I just really believe that, and I'm so happy to have met all of you, and I'm happy to have worked on this show, and it's so special to me and always will be. And I don't really feel that it's over. I think that as long as it lives on in our hearts and the experience has made a big impression on all of us, it's here to stay, and the ponies aren't gone, and they never really will be. So thank you guys, and I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have.
Beavids, oh man, that guy. If you ever need a restraining order against Beavids, good luck. I bring DeLulz. That was pretty easy to get. Everybody kind of automatically has one, so that one was easy. DHX, Rainbow Dash.
Going in my bottom drawer.
I think that's it. That's all of them. So that's a pretty big
absolutely
life change, you know.
Hi everyone, my name's Peter New, and I was a voice actor on My Little Pony for all 9 seasons. I'm grateful for the work that I had. I'm grateful for the time that I got to spend in the studio and for the time I got to spend honing my craft. On a deeper level, I'm grateful for the friends that I made in the crew, the cast, and then out in the larger community. You know, if you want to talk about the thing that I'm the most grateful for, ultimately, I don't think there's any question that it has to be that it's through this fandom that I met my wife, who is the light for me. And I don't think that would never have happened without this show. So what else can compare with that? She's amazing, and I love her. It's been an honor, you guys. It's been a genuine honor, and I love you all. Did I mention the travel? I love the travel. Come on, that's been amazing.
So on a more serious note, being involved with My Little Pony has been the experience of a lifetime. I can't imagine there's too many people who do what I do who got to go through something like this. But just from getting to write stories with these characters, playing around in Equestria, getting to watch the episodes when they're finished, getting to go to conventions and meet fans and have discussions about the show and what it means to people, it's really been the thrill of a lifetime. And so incredibly meaningful to me to hear people's stories about how it's affected them too. So thank you all for letting me be a part of it, and even this stupid Bronies React thing, that too. Thanks guys. See you on the next show.
First started watching, I think in like 2011, had like this direct kind of connection with some of the people that were out there in the community, especially the editors, where I was making videos, I was creating content, and I was getting a direct feedback. And to me, it was this kind of community that was very encouraging, very fun, and just new and fresh that wasn't really seen on the internet. Kind of realized that I did want to get into video editing. I did want to do this full time. I've just met so many great people and had so many great friendships kind of spawned from that. My wife, Casey, I met her through basically like friends of friends and through this community. So, I mean, I wouldn't be married to this day if it weren't for MLP. Created a lot of great friendships, have a lot of great memories to look back on, and really just wouldn't have traded it for anything, because I feel like it really has helped me come into who I am today and kind of open up a lot of opportunities and doors to the kind of people that I, consider my friends to this day.
Changed my life in tremendous ways. It's like I got into the show back in like late 2011. I mean, I just wanted to watch the cartoon because everybody else was talking about it on the internet. It's like, whoa, there's a community behind this. Cool. And then just seeing it evolve. All the folks in Bronies React, I've met them through this stuff. What a bizarre and unexpected way to bring people together over something that they're so passionate about. It's never going to happen again like this. It was life-changing. It was life-changing. Yeah, I'm going to miss it. Wouldn't have met my best friends, wouldn't have met my girlfriend, wouldn't have got my job. So thank you, My Little Pony. Thank you for the folks who made it. You guys did some great stuff. Lauren Faust, thank you for all your hard work and for putting something into motion that's just set up ripple effects across the world. So love you, Horse Mom, and love you, other horse family. And C and G5. Oh, fuck me, right? Fuck.
I would say the biggest thing would be all the friends that I've made along the way, and the just the awesome experiences that I've had. I've always been trying to figure out what I want to do, and I think MLP helped me figure it out that I wanted to work in entertainment, that I wanted to do animation stuff and all that. That having friends along the way is what helps keep you sane and helps you at least get the support that you need. And I wouldn't be out here if I hadn't watched the show and made all the friends that I did.
Just the people that you meet and the way that you kind of foster those friendships is really going to be the longer lasting thing than the show could have ever been. I've met a lot of really cool people, and I feel like the friends that I still have to this day are going to be lifelong friends. Don't let conventions or a show end mean that your friendship has to end. Literally, you can continue on Discord and play games. You can still chat on the phone. You can still text each other. You can still meet up. Try to make the effort and keep the channels open to communicate with your friends.
Hey, every pony, it's Kathy Westluck. So how has My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, how has that changed my life? Well,
Spike!
That's for sure. But I would have to say, in a nutshell, simply the fact of having the chance to meet all of you and spreading the message of love and friendship and all of the messages that the elements of harmony reflect. That's what I would say. But I think we need to ask Spike, don't you? So let's see what he says. What do you think, Spike? It's got a message for you. Yeah, what he said. Hugs to everybody. The show lives in my heart as I know it lives in yours. Take care.
It's aged me 10 years. The show.
I need Spike
when you work on a show
merchandise.
like this,
I need
it's
Spike merch.
Huge in this Universal. You just start to be known, and I think this probably goes for everyone who worked on the show. You get to be known for that, like for your role in My Little Pony. Every time I get introduced to someone new, it's kind of like, hey, this is Daniel. He writes songs on My Little Pony, and people know what that means. That's just like a total trip to be part of something that's so well recognized. In addition to just these opportunities that I've come to travel the world and meet people from all these cultures and walks of life, and work with amazing artists that I never thought I would be able to work with. This show just kind of changes you by getting into your DNA. It's so packed with lessons and examples of how, to be a better person. I mean, it's a show about horses that's really about humanity, and those messages just are reinforced a million times over by the actual people in the community you meet. How can that not affect who you are and really help you become humble and aspire to really learn from all of those experiences? I think the harder question for me to answer would really be, how has it not affected my life in the last 10 years? It's kind of been everything, and grateful for that.
Hey, this is Andrea. So I was asked, how did My Little Pony Friendship is Magic change my life? And I have a super cheesy answer. The way it's really changed my life is through friendships. I've met so many incredible people through working on the show, other actors, but also people on the other side of the glass, writers, artists, directors, producers, as well as fans that I've met through the show that have been absolutely incredible. And I've formed so many amazing friendships, lifelong friendships, super fulfilling friendships. and I'm very, very grateful for that.
I can remember at the first Brony convention that I went to, which was Everfree Northwest, we were asked when we were on stage, what do you think of this whole like, Brony phenomenon, like this whole MLP thing that's happened? I can remember that I said that, well, I think it's like a car crash. You know, the event happens, and then all these people gather, and the crowd is there, and they're watching, and then all of a sudden they turn to each other, and they're like, hey, man, I like that shirt. I bought a shirt just like that the other week. And they were like, oh, man, hold on, you know what? I like your style. Your style is amazing. And then that's how the phenomenon happened. It was a thing around a thing, and needless to say, the people on stage with me kind of objected. They were like, no, it's because of the brilliance of us and the Lauren and the thing with the aga, aga, aga. But here's the thing. None of us really knows what happened. It's a mystery. It is, sweet mystery of life, unless I found you. We don't know what happened. It's a little cathexis in the universe, and all I know is that I am extremely, extremely grateful for it. Because, like many great things, most great things, I would not have chosen it. I wouldn't have put it on my vision board. Look, I need to meet all these people, and I need to go to all of these places, and I need to have all this creativity going burble, burble, burble like Yellowstone Park around me. I wouldn't have chosen it. But in its infinite wisdom, this introvert was catapulted by the universe into this insane party. And I'm really, really, really happy and stoked and amazed to have been a part of it. And I'm so grateful for all the things people have given me over the years. You guys, you guys, you're amazing. Anyway, darlings, I'm just going to sign out now before I say anything too insane. Too late. Okay, bye.
I met some of my best friends through the show. I don't think of it as being because of the show, and when I hang out with Jeff or Steven, AC Wraith Bester Saber Spark, because we don't talk about it most of the time. We're just hanging out. But the truth is that I wouldn't have met them. I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for this show. And I have no idea where my life would be right now. I certainly wouldn't be here. I'm not a very sentimental person, but when I think about it, I go, wow, the show actually has changed my life. Because I have no idea what my life would be like if it weren't for My Little Pony. It's actually bittersweet. Like, I know a lot of people are really sad that the show is ending, but this finale makes me look back on everything and just kind of wraps it all together for me and makes me go, oh, wow, that really has been a part of my life for a very, very long time. Yeah. It encompasses everything that happened, whether or not it was related to My Little Pony. It encompasses all of that from when I joined the military, which is when My Little Pony started airing. It's crazy to look back on all that and think about how it's actually affected me a lot more than maybe I realized. Whatever happened surrounding the show is unique and something you couldn't have planned and something that probably couldn't be duplicated. It's just one of those magical things that happens in this world. It changed the world in a way for the better. And, it was a game changer. Yeah. Like you said, this was unheard of, and especially in the industry in Vancouver, that a show like this, and probably unheard of in the history of, and any TV show, that a cartoon for children would attract such a massive, massive audience of all ages and all genders and all, walks of life and all professions. At the very end of the show, when the book closes, I felt like that's not the show in that book, that's my life. All the good experiences, all the bad experiences, everything I've learned through My Little Pony and through just living life is all contained in the span of time from when I started watching the show 9 years ago to now. And and it's changed my life incredibly, and I wouldn't have met you. Mom texted me.
Oh.
As a guy who's been on the internet since very little, I am very obsessed with everything that's out there, and there's a lot of stuff that's often not very easy to explain why people like it, and being an Israeli, I remember it was even harder for me to just be on the internet and make the stuff that I want to make, and also not necessarily always have to explain why do I like a certain thing or so. And the My Little Pony community was everything that to me was very important, because I really wanted to find my footing in such a way that I can make what I love, but also, you know, appreciate with the stuff that aesthetically is very pleasing to me. And I think My Little Pony, you know, shares a lot of the values of being friendly and being very colorful and to always promote positivity in such a huge volume. This is what was really important to me. And I remember that when I started being in the fandom, I had huge imposter syndrome because, you know, again, being from Israel, I didn't necessarily have anyone listening to what I do, like let alone my music. And because of it, suddenly the community being like, you know, very appreciative and suddenly people started to listen more and more, and I'm like, I don't think I deserve this, because it wasn't until this point that I even felt that this was, you know, for me. But the community showed me that this can come from anywhere, and there's people that from the community that I'm still friends to this day. So even if I don't, and it's true, I haven't made content about My Little Pony in a while, but in no way do I, you know, there's people in the community that I fully respect, and there's people that I'm still working with this till this day, because there's people out there that to them it's what shares their values and who they are, and I think that's very noble and very important. Thank you so much, not just, you know, the community, but thanks Hasbro and DHX Entertainment for making the show, because this generation of My Little Pony was, to me, a huge impact to why I'm here and why that's where I am. Thank you so much, and I hope that the next generation of My Little Pony will be just as good as the last one. And I love you all.
It's a little bit embarrassing to admit My Little Pony kind of is my life. And when I say My Little Pony, of course, I mean the community. It's a big source of income. It contains most of my hobbies, the music I listen to, the videos I watch, the merchandise littered all around my room, and amazing opportunities, you know, like going to BronyCon and being on panels, and of course just being here on Bronies React is a major opportunity. And then maybe most importantly, the friends I've made in the community. You know, that's kind of an extension of My Little Pony. You know, it hurts to see the show come to an end, but as the moral of this episode is all about, it's important to accept changes like that. All good things come to an end, you know? I don't understand the mentality that, like, oh, the show's over, just completely abandon it. No, go rewatch it. There's tons to rewatch. Things leave me wondering, where do we go from now, you know? And it's really, for me, it's never been a fear about the fandom ending. It's never even really been a fear of the show ending. But it's certainly a matter of change. I'm currently running the top 10 pony videos. It's been going on for like 8 years, and I'm worried we're going to see a decline. We're not going to get 10 videos in a month. I don't know when that will be, if it will happen very soon, or we still got years left. Really, what makes the fandom special isn't going anywhere, and probably will never go anywhere. So yeah, the original question, how has MLP changed your life? I mean, look around.
No.
I don't know.
No, Dusty.
I might not even be here.
Don't cry, Dusty. I've used all of my tears, Dusty.
I was in a bad place. It changed me to my core. I was cynical, angry, didn't know what I was going to do. Look at me now. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all.
I was just working at Burger King, being a personal trainer, and going to college full time, and then I found this show that made me feel happy when I was like really just down and sad, and then I met all these great people who are some of my closest friends today and helped me through so much and just made me want to be creative and start this and actually help a bunch of people out. And so it's changed my life for the better. Like, if I did not have this show, I would not be doing YouTube videos the way I do. I would not have met y'all out there. I would not have like been able to go to cons and meet a bunch of great people. So yeah, it's very just touching. It's touched my soul, and I'm so incredibly grateful for the time I had to watch it and meet all these people. The show really touched me, and I'm so glad that I got to be a part of this whole thing. And you know what? If this is the end, I would say, like, I'm very grateful for being part of this. And, you know, this is great times, and I'll always look on it with, like, just love.
Got to, you know, meet so many amazing people from this fandom. We've got so many long-lasting friends. It's been a great experience, and it's still going. This episode is just a perfect allegory for, like, friendships and how, you know, how things are going to go after, you know, the series ends. You're still gonna have your friends as long as you keep that effort to meet up, hang out, talk.
Yep.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Being a fan of My Little Pony has opened so many doors that I didn't see. I never would have guessed that one day I would have gone to Germany. That one day I would have gone to Australia. That I'd be able to travel the country. That I'd be able to not only get to meet some of the most incredible people I've ever met, but to call them friends, to have some of them be involved in my life in ways, you know, like our wedding.
Yeah.
This journey has just been so amazing. The friends who are basically family at this point. Who would have saw it? Did you see any of this coming?
No.
When you're like, hey, give it a shot.
Yeah, watch Follow Other Friends with me. You might like it.
What have you done? It just means so much. Not only have I met a lot of amazing friends through the fandom, but also getting to know the people who've worked on this show and the heart behind it, how much they've cared. There's some pretty amazing people that made these 9 years possible. I've just been nothing but honored that I've had the opportunity to go again to conventions and to be able to entertain through this and do the stuff I love, whether it's through video editing or on stage. You know, I will never take any of this for granted. It's one reason I always look back at convention vlogs, especially like early ones, and go like, man, I had no idea. I had no idea what was coming.
Yeah.
It has changed my life. And the fandom it's been such an amazing, and will continue to be such an amazing experience. And I can't wait for the future. You know, no matter what happens, whether there's a generation or multiple generations in the future, or Hasbro does this, or this happens with these characters. No matter what happens, we have 9 seasons of My Little Pony. Friendship is Magic.
Yeah.
That was just wrapped up in a bow for us. No matter what happens, we will always have this. That's why I'm not worried about the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not worried about what may come in a future generation. I'm like, no matter what it is, Generation 4 will always be what it is. Thanks, Lauren Faust.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Oh, man. Thanks, M.A. Larson. This mess you caused after season 3. To each and every one of you that have ever put any time into watching a Bronies React, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This is AC Racebest signing out. Good night, everyone.
Bye. Frick. That last section, why is everyone doing that? Everyone is putting that at the end of their stuff recently. That last section, I may have to make its own thing. I'll put it off to the side because there was almost no reaction to it. It was just me watching people explain what the show did for them. I'll probably put it on Diddly Doo, the throwaway channel. But I do want to talk about how My Little Pony has changed my life. I think the biggest thing with My Little Pony is that if it wasn't for this show, the Dream Team probably wouldn't exist. I remember I was in 7th grade, and it was a very turbulent time in my life. I couldn't focus on anything without taking a pill, so that's already making me feel bad. And then, of course, I was a chubby kid, so I was getting picked on in school, and everything just felt awful. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I mean, I knew I liked to draw, I knew I liked Sonic, but it got to a point where it was like those things didn't help anymore. Like, bad thoughts were happening. But then one day I came home and I was flipping through channels to see what cartoons I could watch, and I noticed a promo for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and I got this wrong in my main reaction. When they showed a clip from Call of the Cutie, and it's the exact scene where Apple Bloom is sitting in the middle of a room and everyone is just pointing and laughing at her. And I'm like, that's me. I feel that. That's what I'm going through. And even though I saw it was My Little Pony, I was like, well, you know what? Everyone at school's calling me gay anyway. Might as well sit down and watch it. So I scheduled one episode to record before I went to school, came home, and it was Applebuck season. And I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and see what this is all about. And I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty good. I wonder what the next one's about. And then I watched that one, and I was like, okay, what's the next one about? And then the next, and then the next. And then by the time Fall with Her Friends happened, I realized I'm in love with this show. So I decided to go back to the beginning, watch what I had missed. And then season 2 came. I was still hype on this show. I was still going around trying to say, hey guys, have you heard about this show? And I if I remember correctly, I didn't really learn about the Brony fandom until season 2. I was genuinely under the thought process that I was the only one who liked the show. So season 2 came around, and I'm sure you all know my best friend, Diego. I don't know if he wants this story out there, but that's probably why it's going on the Throwaway channel. The episode Lesson Zero came out, and up until that point, I had been pestering him for like a straight year, saying, you gotta watch this show, it's so good. And he was like, no, I don't need to, because reasons, I guess. But one day I got him. One day I got him. I recorded a single clip on my Nintendo 3DS from Lesson Zero, and it's the scene where Fluttershy cracks Harry's neck so that she can give him a massage, but I clipped it off to make it look like she just broke the bear's neck. And our church was hosting an event where at a Golden Corral, and I was like, hey man, I know you don't want to watch the show, but you got to see this one scene. It's so cool and awesome. He was like, fine, I'll watch it if you shut up. And I showed him that scene. I lied to him. I absolutely lied to him. But if I hadn't lied to him and showed him that scene, if I hadn't broken one of the core elements of the Elements of Harmony, I wouldn't have my best friend today. Going on 13 years, all because I showed him a clip of Fluttershy breaking Harry's neck. So that's the first 2 core members of the Dream Team. Years later, I start doing YouTube. I'm still a big fan of MLP at that point, but then Undertale is coming out, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool and all that. I do the Papyrus Stronger Than You. That gets big. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. What do I do next? I didn't really know what to do, but then I noticed that a YouTuber by the name of Night of Breath had done another Papyrus cover called Bone Truths, and I was like, oh, this is a really good song. I wonder if she would let me do this cover with my Papyrus voice. And I never would have approached her if I hadn't noticed her My Little Pony avatar on YouTube. Because when I saw that, I was like, okay, they're a Brony. They must be nice. So just seeing that avatar gave me the courage to approach her and be like, can I do a cover of this? I would love to do a cover of this song. And she was super nice. She still is. She's like, yeah, this is awesome. Sure, I would love to hear it. I cannot wait to see what you do. Then after that, I wanted to do something a little bit more. I wanted to do a whole storyline with Undertale. And I was like, okay, I need voice actors. So if you want to be a part of this, put your audition up on YouTube and I'll see what I can find for Gaster's Timeline Crisis. That's when I met Water Witch. I think they had a My Little Pony avatar at the time, or they were using one, which eventually developed into their own, but that's a story for something else entirely. And I immediately fell in love with her voice. I was like, this is great. Like, you have a natural talent for voice acting. And then we started talking back and forth, and now she's the co-director for How to Tube. Whenever I have a problem that I can't solve, she's always one of the first people that I go to. And one day, I think it was my 1-year anniversary on YouTube, and I was like, I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the people that I had met. So I know it sounds like a long tangent where it's like, this doesn't really sound like it has much to do with My Little Pony. It sounds like it has more to do with Undertale. But just seeing My Little Pony related to them gave me the courage to approach them. So that means a lot. When I was talking about the 1-year anniversary, I decided to draw a picture with all the people who helped me. And I was like, well, I can't just draw them as My Little Pony characters. I have to humanize them. So I humanized them, and that laid the groundwork for How to Tube. So how has My Little Pony changed my life? In a very weird, long, roundabout way. It laid the groundwork for me to create How to Tube. And I cannot thank the show staff enough for that. I don't know if How to Tube will ever be as big of a cult classic. I don't even think that's the right word. As big as a hit as My Little Pony, but as long as it reaches out and saves someone the way that My Little Pony saved me, that's all I need. Oh man.